What's up, otakus? It's your tour guide here, and it's we're just wrapping up another weekend. It's gotten a lot colder, and all of us sort of have the sniffles right now in our household. Uh, so it was just a quiet weekend at home. I had brunch with a friend today. We met up. Went to IHOP. My wife did not. It was her first time at IHOP, and she didn't really like it. And it's a great place, I guess, for breakfast, but we've had better brunch for cheaper, so um, we probably won't be going to IHOP again. I mean, I may go. They have this um, happy hour at IHOP now. I think from 3 p.m. you can get like half off the meals, like $6 for like hamburgers and fries and pancake breakfasts and stuff. May do that at some point. The reason we're hopping on YouTube today is just I know it's late, but over the weekend we had this comic convention here locally in Seattle. It's called Geek Girl Con. And Geek Girl Con is just like it sounds. It's a celebration of women in comics and celebrating women in sort of Comic Con culture. It's a comic convention for women. Kind of a safe space for them, also a chance to celebrate all the creatives, and really sort of just advancing the issues of women, not only in the industry, but just on a broader level. And this year is was a very critical year. The Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, and whatever your thoughts are on the politics of that decision, I hope you do understand that right now the reproductive choice and health of our wives, our mothers, our daughters are all at risk. So, it's right before the midterm elections. I do have my ballot here. I think this is really one of the best ways I can support. I'm going to submit this on my way to work tomorrow. But one of the best ways we can support our sisters is to really just use your vote and voice in the best way. And I'm just not going to get too politicky, but just know that this channel supports the reproductive health and choice of women, and so that's really under threat now in a lot of places in this country. Not so much where I live, but it is threatened in other parts of the country. So hopefully, we do see people come together and demand reproductive rights for women. So in honor of Geek Girl Con, and just to kind of go over some of the superheroines in my collection, we're going to cover superheroines in this edition. And so these are the best superheroine covers in my collection, just the top 20. All these covers are just really beautiful to look at. They're amazing covers, so I just thought we'd go over them. Alright, so let's get to them. The first on my list is Doctor Strange, number 1. This is the ArtGerm, Stanley Lau ArtGerm variant. Beautiful rendition of Doctor Strange. Not sure what the story is on this. Not sure why there's a female Doctor Strange, but it's a nice cover. Doctor Strange is a woman there, doing her magic. I just love these ArtGerm covers. They're just so well done. Like so graphically detailed, and just absolutely stunning to terms of the results. Very artistic. Love ArtGerm's covers. Love his work. Next, you know that this is one of my favorite artists. Probably my favorite artist outside of Jim Lee, and that is Peach Momoko. And we have her doing X-23 right here. Beautiful cover right there with the wolf, the blood dripping down the wolf's mouth, and X-23 just looking extra powerful there with her claw out. I haven't read too many X-23 stories. My real introduction to her was in the Old Man Logan film, where she kind of like makes her cinematic debut. Again, I'm just interested to see how, like, you know, kind of see how she evolves. I'll probably try to read more comic books, modern comic books, just to see where this character is, but just love that. Love the wolf in this picture. Just a beautiful cover right there by Peach. Excellent. All right. Next we have Justice Society of America, number 9, and this is an Alex Ross cover. Just beautiful cover of Wonder Girl there. Looking really strong, and yeah, looking very, very tough. And Alex Ross is, of course, one of the most talented artists. He could easily be in I have so many Alex Ross covers, and there are a lot to collect because he's just been one of those artists who just is constantly putting out, work. He's constantly being involved in one project or another. So this set of Justice Society America covers, he did a bunch of them, right? They're all just absolutely glorious. Here's another example of the Superman there. Love that Superman cover. So Wonder Girl right there by Alex Ross. Here's another beautiful cover. I love the color palette on this one. Devil's Reign, the Daredevil costume. This is where Elektra becomes Daredevil, and it's a first issue, Devil's Reign. I love that Peach Momoko cover. Just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Peach Momoko is just, man, there's a lot of Peach in this list. And this next book is just one of my favorite movies of all time. Now, Ghost in the Shell, if you've never watched it, I think, though, most geeks, I don't know about comic book geeks, but just most geeks, like if you're into movies and nerdy stuff, you've probably watched this Mamoru Oshii classic, Ghost in the Shell. If you haven't, it'll be the best 2 hours you spend. Just an amazing piece of animation. But it's based off the Masamune Shirow manga. Now the manga's less. I mean, the manga's has its merits. The story's a little kind of out there, and they do introduce all these characters. That's the one good thing about it. But the characters are kind of goofy. It's sort of this kind of wild and outlandish sort of tone. It's really just a lot of comedy and jokes and I don't know. The manga's, I don't think, as good as the movie. The movie is so much better. It sets a real sort of philosophical tone on what consciousness is and what AI the future of like technology and AI, the evolution of technology, where it can lead, real like advanced science fiction stuff. So it is adapted from the manga, but I just feel like it's like the film does so much of a better job artistically in bringing the manga to life. And then, of course, after the film, you had a series of animation television series, which are also very good, like sort of crime. They just solve a bunch of like cyber crimes and stuff. It's a really good television series as well. And the manga is, kind of, I don't know. The manga's up to you to decide whether you like it or not. I think and in this particular instance, it's one of those rare instances where the animation is better than the book. But yeah, beautiful cover by Masamune Shiro. That is our Motoko Kusanagi. First time in American comic books, you have Motonoko Kusanagi on the cover. Beautiful. Just, she's like being born in some kind of like microchip kind of like setting. That just, love this cover. And again, love the movie. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Okay. This next book, I am not a fan of Vampirella. Although I do love the Frank Frazetta cover of Vampirella 1. That's probably a book I would want to own, but it is a very expensive book. Beautiful art. But in terms of like the character and all that, I'm not a big Vampirella fan. But when I saw this Peach Momoko cover, I was like, boom. Man, that is just... I had to get this cover. It was just such a... Look at how beautiful that cover is, man. With the moon there and the bats and her just playful pose there. Absolutely beautifully done. That's what I love about Peach. She can just, just get a sense of the character from looking at other works or other people's art, and just be able to just hone in on what the essence of that character is. I mean, she especially on the female characters, Peach nails it on the female characters. Her male characters also are good for the most part. I've had some issues with like her Hulk, Incredible Hulk, or like her Thor. Those haven't been the best renditions of those, but for the most part, when she does a character like Vampirella, it's just spot on. I'm going to show you the cover again. Vampirella. Again, this is just a cover by. Absolutely beautiful. Then next we have this beautiful Rick Buckler cover. Yeah, Rick Buckler doing Wonder Woman there. Absolutely beautiful cover there. She's Statue of Liberty's coming up behind her, and she's on Liberty Island, having a little conversation there, and Flash and her. I got this Bronze Age book. It's really high grade too. This would grade in the 8s. Well, maybe, yeah, this would be around the 8, I would say. 7.5, maybe 7.58. Pick this up for a quarter. Happy with that. Classic Wonder Woman. All right, we're getting into the weeds here. Next up is Todd McFarlane goodness. Spawn number 9, the first appearance of Angela. This is a Neil Gaiman written comic book. If you haven't read this, go out and get it. It's, man, it's basically McFarlane and Gaiman. Now, they had a falling out. In fact, they went to court over the rights to this character. Gaiman won, then sold the rights to Marvel, and so at some point, Marvel's already putting out comic books of Angela, but at some point we'll see Angela, I'm sure, in the MCU. But you know, everyone should just get a copy of this for the story, because it really is an amazing story. She lays waste to medieval spawn here. She's a hellspawn killer. She's a hellspawn killer. That's all That's all you need to know. Yeah, she's a spawn killer, and she's an angel at that. So, yeah, you know, this is just another great example of why the '90s were really probably the best era in comic books. A book like this, so representative of just the great storytelling and you know, the art that was coming out in an independent title like that from Image. Beautiful book. Todd McFarlane masterpiece. Neil Gaiman, Todd McFarlane masterpiece. They're frenemies now, or they're just enemies now, I guess. But you know, it would be good to see them. I would hope to, you know, that they could work together amicably again to put out something similar, but something tells me that's never going to happen. All right, next one. Beautiful cover here. She-Hulk, right on Fantastic Four 275. Now, this is supposed to be sort of like Stan Lee on the cover there with her. He's a photographer who takes some sleazy pictures of She-Hulk as she's changing. But it's Stan Lee right there. So it's a Stan She-Hulk cover. Just love it. Yeah, I mean, this precedes the She-Hulk 90s series, but it's the great John Byrne art, great sort of breaking of the fourth wall here. And I don't know about you, but I haven't watched this She-Hulk series because I don't have Disney Plus, but I do watch clips of it on YouTube, and I've watched sort of, you know, where they kind of do cut through scenes and kind of summarize the episode. I don't know what everybody's problem with She-Hulk is. It's funny. It's like a lawyer show because that's who, you know, She-Hulk is. Again, funny, tongue-in-cheek. It's light. It's got a good deal of action. You know, it's great. I would hope we would see a second season, but the way there's been a lot of backlash against it. Again, I don't know what the backlash is regarding per se. Not everything has to be like something like the Avengers or Spider-Man. It doesn't have to be, you know, centered on it perplexes me as to what the issue is with She-Hulk. It seems to follow the mold of every other comic book film. People should just chillax and enjoy it and support it, right? Because ultimately we want to see more series, we want to see more movies, we want to see more content where you have women in lead roles. And so again, I would hope everybody would get behind She-Hulk and support it, and just stop nitpicking over every little thing. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean jack, to be honest. You know, I don't like a lot of things, but doesn't mean jack. Just let's support diversity and celebrate that. Celebrate a character like the She-Hulk coming to like a TV series or a movie, because we need more of that. This next one is another Peach cover. I love it. Peach Momoko Wonder Woman Future State. That's a beautiful cover right there. Yeah. Peach can do Wonder Woman so well, as you know. Just love that. Just love how she does all the hair like that. Just, there's so much energy in this cover because with the movement of the hair. Man, just brilliantly done. All right, now we're getting to some books here. Next, we have another great rendition of this one. The peach on this one are just really well done. This one kind of gets an edge. The Adam Hughes one kind of gets ahead over peach because of the color, and I just love it's Gal Gadot. So I loved Wonder Woman, the original. I loved the second one, 1980. Was it Wonder Woman 84? It was good, and just a beautiful. Again, those colors really, all that brilliance in the cover is just amazing. Just absolutely love that cover. Beautiful. Next we got X-Men 1 variant edition by ArtGerm again. This is not Phoenix. It's Rachel Summers, aka Marvel Girl, and she's just looking good. Beautiful, classic look for the character. ArtGerm making just those characters pop. Next we have Elektra Assassin, Bill Sienkiewicz cover. And man, this is just one of my. This has been in my collection since, my original collection, since I think when this came out in '95, right? So I was just collecting books. I got this book and love it. Sienkiewicz's art is just part of a great story. I think Frank Miller also wrote this story, right? So great, just story and art in this one. Love that art, man. Gotta love this cover art. Next, we're gonna go here to some George Perez goodness. Love that. Love that design there with the Roman or the Greek soldier uniform there. The shield, the cape, the helmet, the spear. Love that rendition of the character. And just George Perez showing his mastery. If you watched my previous video, on my want list is Wonder Woman #1, the first issue in this run by George, the premiere issue. And Wonder Woman 1 is something definitely on my radar. And I guess we'll go here with the next one. Wonder Woman 8. It's just looking absolutely marvelous there. Classic Wonder Woman suit there by I shouldn't say classic, it's sort of reimagined a little bit. But yeah, classic nonetheless. George Perez there, and a great background of the DC heroes there. All right, we're counting down. Let's see, we got our next cover here is Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh yeah, that's a great picture right there. Yeah, that's a Michelle Pfeiffer homage. Looking at herself, that's just so. I love that cover. More again, ArtGerm cover. Great Michelle Pfeiffer, and she was great in this movie. Michelle Pfeiffer really just played probably one of the best Catwomen to be portrayed on screen. And the suit and everything just about that movie stylistically around Catwoman was superb. The movie itself, it's kind of one of those like cult classics. I think it wasn't very well received by the mass audience, but I think for cult audiences, it definitely is a classic. So Batman 2 by Tim Burton. This next one has sort of like a classic Dutch painting vibe that is Supergirl 16. I love this cover. Just has a girl with the pearl earring vibes, like a Scarlett Johansson kind of vibe going about it. I love Scarlett Johansson. And yeah, just again, the color, the way she's kind of turned and looking, just absolutely like almost angelic, like how beautiful it is. There are more Supergirl covers we want to pick up, but I think there's so many ArtGerm covers, and while it'd be great to get them all, I think it helps for me to be focused about what we want to pick up with ArtGerm. And I think a good area of focus would be to collect Supergirl, because he's done an amazing array of Supergirl covers. And so I would like to pick up more ArtGerm Supergirl covers, but this is just sort of like a good entry point for me. There are a couple more Supergirl covers I want to pick up, and hopefully we can do that. But for me, it's not like I'm going out to get these books. I'm using my Unmyeong philosophy, and as you know what Unmyeong is, it's a fate destiny thing. So on my hunts, whatever I run into and I connect with, that's the book I pick up. And that's really sort of the philosophy I use. Very rarely will I actually like go out and get a book, jump and go out and get a book. I mean, in some instances that's warranted because it's just a book I really feel like, okay, there's a good price on it, something I want, and we'll pull the trigger on it and add it. But for the most part, I try to keep my pickups as a fated or destined pickup. And that's what we're hoping with Supergirl. Again, I picked this up for 50 cents, and I anticipate I can do that with other ArtGerm covers, or at least pay half a cover. And so we're being patient. We don't have to necessarily go out and get everything. This is what's fun about the hobby. It can be a slow grind to get it. Just if you're patient and you're active, right? Every chance I get where I collect some money, a chance I get to go to a comic shop or go to half price books and look at comics and pick stuff up. We try to do that, but at the same time, we're just not trying to pick up everything. We're just really trying to pick the stuff that we have, focused approach on, that we really kind of connect with, because we know what we want to add to the PC. So it has to kind of hit some of those, check marks when we decide to bring it into the collection. All right, we're down to our last 3 books, and these are just again, I love these covers because they're just stunning. They're absolutely stunning. We'll start here with Peach. Elektra. This is number 4. And this is Black, White, and Blood. And look at how beautiful that cover is. Oh, I mean, I'm just gonna let you look at it. There's no words. Just look at it. Words can't describe just what makes this cover just so stunning. It's literally 2 colors. It's 2, or right? Well, I mean, it's actually 1 color, red, and black and white, right? Like 3 shades. But look at all the shades within the shades, right? Yeah, it's beautiful and so detailed. Get the sword, flower. Oh man, Peach. Peach, come on, you're killing it. You're just killing it, and you're just. What's scary to think about is Peach has just been in comics a relatively short period of time. You know, we're looking at like the last 4 or 5 years, right? And man, she's no one can touch her. And I'm excited because what a great time to get back into comics, right? Like I was collecting as a kid, and all those greats that were working back when I was collecting, like Frank Miller, like Mike Zeck, John Byrne, Jim Lee, Todd, Mark Silvestri, even the ones like Larry Hama, right? All these guys, all these legends. And when I got back into comics, it's kind of like, yeah, these guys are still at it. A lot of them are still doing conventions. They're still beloved by the community. And that was something that was great to see, like being able to still collect Jim Lee books, being able to still collect Todd McFarlane books, and then we've lost a lot of the legends. We've lost a lot of creative talent, and we're continuing to see them pass. So it's a reminder to celebrate them while we still have the privilege of enjoying their work and connecting with them. But man, has it been really great to have that same kind of youthful excitement and passion for an up and coming artist like Peach Momoko. Like the fact that she's going to be around probably for years, as I'm gonna kind of as my days are numbered, right? Just to be able to enjoy and collect her work is a real privilege and treat. So not only to enjoy the older artists, but enjoys the new talent as well, like ArtGerm and her. Just is a real treat as a comic book collector and fan. So just looking to continue to do that. But this is definitely a must-have if you're a Peach fan, and that is Demon Days. This is her first cover, interior, front to back comic book. So if you're a fan of hers, this is a significant book. You should go get it. It's also written by her. It's an original story. She has the audacity to redesign Jim Lee's Psylocke. But, and any other artist, right? Any other artist, I'd be like, you're crazy. Redesigning Jim Lee's Psylocke? You're crazy, man. It's not going to go over well. And, but she did it, and she nailed it. Man, I think in terms of the character design, like the hair color design, like just in story. She wears this Japanese like obi, right? Like it's just it's amazing. It's amazing how the detail of this costume. Go and see the sketch designs of this. I mean, I can't describe it. It's just so traditionally on point with the costume design in terms of the traditional garb, the fact that she's set in medieval Japan, and also this character, this rendition of Psylocke known as Psy in this again draws on Japanese folklore about demons there, and just amazing. And I love that this is continuing. It hasn't ended with her. She's continuing to work on this arc, the Demon Days arc, and I'm just so happy. So this is the first issue in this ongoing run, and is a significant book. Now it has a lot of variant covers. I think the sketch design cover is the one that's worth a lot, which is beautiful. Again, the character, it shows that character redesign. Normally, I would not approve anybody touching Jim Lee's Psylocke, but this one gets my stamp of approval. I think Peach actually does a better job than Jim with the character design and what it communicates about the character. So wouldn't be a recommended thing for most artists, but Peach just spot on, kills it with the design, kills it with this cover. And if you're a Peach Momoko collector, this has to be on your list of things to collect. There's a lot of other more expensive books and whatnot, but this book is probably the most significant book out of what she's done in American comics. Not her first art, it's not her first whatever, but it's her first real sort of front to back original work. Like she basically does the whole book. Okay, there's no you can't credit other artists on this book. She does the whole thing. She wrote it, she did all the art for it. So it's significant. Plus it's a beautiful cover of probably my probably my most favorite character in comic books, Psylocke. Betsy Braddock. Alright, so we know now Psy is Asian. Psylocke is Asian. Psy is Japanese. I think Psylocke she's Asian. It's just a nondescript Asian, I guess. And we love Olivia Munn as Psylocke. Thank you, Olivia Munn, for playing Psylocke. That's one of my bucket lists, to see Olivia Munn play Psylocke. Thank you to the creators of the Hollywood forces that made that happen. And that's our number one. Jim Lee, Psylocke goodness. Now, this design is the iconic design. Again, Peach does probably a better job in the redesign, but know that the original Jim Lee design is what's lasted 20 plus years, right? And it's what we continue as comic book fans, we continue to love about this character. Man, look at that. And this is Jim's sort of comic book card variant cover. When I saw this, I want to get the card too. I want to get the card. The card's expensive. The card's like $50 card. So I don't know if, hopefully we'll pick it up at some point. Maybe the price goes down or something. But when I saw the comic cover, I was like, okay, it's the next best thing. We gotta go ahead. And then, luckily I picked it up. It's absolutely just one of my favorite books of the collection. So there you have it. That's my top 20 superheroines covers in my collection. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to do your own, tag me so I can check out who your best superhero covers are. But again, let's just support our fellow comic geek girls at the conventions and in the community, and that's it. That's all that I have for this weekend. I do want to say I am working on a haul video. I've got 21 books at the moment. I'm probably going to pick up a bit more, and then when we again pick up and make some final rounds to the various comic shops with whatever budget I have left, I will do that haul. And I'm really kind of waiting on the Spawn release. I think it comes out the first week of December. And that's, of course, I'm referring to the Greg Capullo, Todd McFarlane, Spawn, Batman. We're targeting 2 variant covers in that, Jim Lee variant cover and a Greg Capullo variant cover there. So I'm hoping to add those 2 plus maybe some more books. But once we have that set, we'll do a comic haul video. So look forward to that. And again, just go out there and hunt, find your own young comics, the comics that were destined to be a part of your PC. And thanks for supporting this channel. All right, see you later. Bye.